Hello and welcome, I'm DrHamfist, and you can probably already tell, actually you may be confused from the time on this, I bet this will be a short video. I think you may jump to the conclusion I die on this run. What I think we're actually going to do is try a pretty offensive silent list, cards willing. I think we will always sub out the boss relic here. I think we've never really tried an aggressive silent list. I always go for the defensive options. Poison stab here. Yeah, I think Poison Stab is fine. I think we're going to try a pretty aggressive list. I think the Ironclad's slightly better at this. But I'm interested to see how the Silent does if you forgo defense a bit. And there's not many late shops here. I think we'll try this one. Yeah, and let's skip either of these shops and just hit the later one. Yeah, I think the Ironclad is slightly better at that with the healing that he gets. It's pretty forgiving as far as taking damage. But I think the Silent may actually be able to do this relatively well. You have to have enough defensive tools, but a pretty aggressive list might actually have enough damage and tricks to it. I think there's some discard synergies we might have to try to scrounge up to get there all the way. Oh, I actually had an extra strike there. Well, he did have 6 block though, so I think that's identical to just passing or using it. There we go. Yeah, and the aggressive attempt is working really well here on the first fight, but the thing is, I am wondering if this is going to scale well. Outmaneuver? I think outmaneuver. If we can get some draw effects, that's probably fine. I think it might struggle with bosses, is the only thing. Yeah, so here is the cleric with the option to heal us, but we're full. Remove a card from our deck. I think we'll take that. 50 gold, and it's basically a card removal service at a discount that also won't ramp up your card removal service. The question is what we get rid of, and I think the answer is just a normal defend. Survivor is very good. It's much more efficient than a normal defend. I think we scrap a normal defend. And then take the middle option here. Okay, so if we did draw, I don't think we want to use either of these potions. If we did draw that Survivor card, we could block all 8 that way. This guy's not actually swinging at us, so there's the option of only hitting him once and then defending twice. We're either going to strike or defend here. I think we're fine defending, saving the 2 health. I think we're going to need it if we go for a pretty fast list. I think that weaken is going to keep us from killing him with 1 strike, though. Is that right? Well, actually, this poison stab is going to get through. Because a normal strike would do 4. Yeah, so let's do this. And then we have the option to either outmaneuver defend or strike defend. I think we will defend either way. Since we're weakened, let's save the energy for next turn. And the next turn we won't be weakened, it can swing harder. Okay, well, it doesn't actually make a difference this turn because we don't need to defend anyway, but if he were attacking, that would have been a great turn. So pretty clean first 2 fights. I've definitely seen this go a lot worse before. If we get enough discard, Eviscerate can be very good. It can be very good. I've never actually gone for this card. I think I'm going to. We're trying to build a list that's different than what I normally see. So let's see if we can't get some discard synergy. Okay, so here we go. I think we're fine with taking the Curse. Yeah, so Curse with Doubt applies weak, which is actually quite bad on this list. If we go for more discard synergy, we might be able to reliably avoid actually proccing the Doubt. We don't have any yet, though. I think we'll take it and just pay to remove it later. I think we'll be fine. Alright, yeah, so upgrade 2 cards and lose 15 HP. And they are random cards. I think this is worth it. With us being as healthy as we are. Alright, that's excellent. They're both offensive abilities. Yeah, and then here we can hit this to get rid of that Doubt. We have the option of resting. It's almost not overkill. It's overkill by what, 6 points? Something like that. We're going to go for the upgrade. We're not terribly low. And what happens if you upgrade Eviscerate? Okay. That might actually not be as good as upgrading a normal strike right now. Once we have more discard synergy, the strike's probably better. And in fact, the neutralize might be the way to go. Especially because we won't be having that much defense in this list. Let's do the neutralize first. I think once we get some discard, we can go for that Eviscerate, but for now, I think we would upgrade a normal strike above it. So we could look at keeping the doubt. I don't think this is fine to take yet. I think once we have more discard, we'd love that, but we don't really have any yet. And the Infinite Blades is somewhat tempting. I don't think any of these other ones are brilliantly good. The Riddle with Holes will be if we get Strength, but we don't have any yet. Yeah, I think for now, we're definitely removing Doubt. And this was Thorns. Don't think we want that. In a sense, this does just help us kill things quickly. And it does absolutely hard counter certain engages like the birds. We might take this. You can look at Infinite Blades as dealing 4 damage every turn. You can look at Bronze Scales as dealing 3 damage every time you're attacked, and that can be more often than once per turn, especially against multi-hit enemies. And the thing is, this is always active. You have to draw and find Infinite Blades. I think we'll try taking this. Also, we didn't have enough gold in the first place, but Peace Pipe. If you can get Peace Pipe this early, you can build a lot of infinites that way. Because every single rest site can actually be a card removal. So if we had enough gold for that, we absolutely would have taken that. We would have had to forgo our plan a little bit. Maybe not go for an aggressive list, but maybe go for some sort of cheesy infinite combo. So we can get a card upgrade and then take this path or this path. I think I do like heading left here and getting an upgrade. I don't like being absolutely forced to fight an elite. If we end up low health after these 3 fights, that might be really bad for us. And I think that's one of the secrets of building an aggressive deck. And what happens here? It goes to 3. I don't think we need that often. Because it's 6 energy. Short of us drawing Eviscerate, we never need the 6th energy. So it's not a huge upgrade. So I think we'll just upgrade another strike. That seems fine. I think when you're going for an aggressive list, you want to try to avoid a lot of fights to preserve your health, which you're worse at doing for the boss fight. And then, alright, so you can no longer be weakened. This is probably pretty good for the deck I'm trying to sculpt here, which is going to be trying to crank out a lot of damage. Weaken can get in the way of that. And here what I'm looking at, we have the option of fighting 1 elite and then getting 2 unknowns, or just getting 1 unknown in a bunch of normal fights. I think we'd rather hit more unknowns than elites, so let's head left. Alright, so we should be pretty good against this guy. I think we'll pass on outmaneuver, just because we can immediately leverage damage and we don't know what we'll draw next turn. We might not actually profit from it. Yeah, so here we go. This turn we did not need any extra energy. We're not taking any damage either, so worked out. And he's dead to the thorns, yeah? Oh, it's refreshing how quick we're killing stuff. Every deck I build is way slower than this and never works out that quickly. Flying Knee is an excellent option in an aggressive deck. This is basically a free attack. Not immediately on the turn you play it, but over 2 turns, it basically costs nothing. And we should be decent against this guy as well. We can use the Artifact Potion to block his vulnerability if the fight goes that long, and we can weaken him in the meantime as well if we want, which we may do. Yeah, neither of those are important to commit yet. He does have enough health. I think we might weaken him up front. Depends if we draw our Neutralize, I think it is, this turn. Alright, we did. So, no sense in using the Weak Potion here. Oh, actually, well, I don't think I wanted to use it anyway. We did have energy for that defend if we wanted. The question would be if we were going to kill him before his 3rd attack. think we probably will have, so maybe we should have done that. Alright, but yeah, as I've said before, the math on Survivor is much better. It's not going to get us near casting Eviscerate, but it blocks 8 while only giving him 2 strength, so it's much more efficient. We actually can just Eviscerate rather than striking, which is more, isn't it? Yes. And he's just dead to that. Yes. Okay, excellent. So we did take a bit of damage. We were not full health going into this. I think we were something around 59. So we took about 15 damage with a pretty much all-in deck. Now granted, the knob is particularly good against defensive decks, so this might not be a proper fair comparison. We might have struggled more with that triple artifact engage. But we've done relatively well, actually, I think, from that. Ooh, this can work very well with Eviscerate if we need to crank a ton of damage, but have not drawn a bunch of damage that turn. We've drawn a bunch of skills. Now, we don't have a ton of skills in our deck, but I think this is still fine. Even just using this as the last energy for the turn, it's a very efficient card. Okay, and then here the Scrap Ooze. So normally, I immediately go all in on getting the relic from this. It can cost a lot of health to get it, sometimes. We have 45, which is not terribly bad, and we can avoid all elites and rest once before the boss. So the way we can look at this is we may get a relic for very cheap, or we may spend a lot of health, in which case we'll just dodge the elite. It's possible we just low roll so much it's not even worth getting the relic. I think we're going to try for it though. I think usually you have to click this button about 3 times to get the relic. And it costs 3, then 4, then 5. And then here's where it becomes kind of iffy, right? We have more than half chance of getting it. We didn't get it in our quarter or 35% or 45% roll. I think we still do it. Okay. So we got the prayer wheel, which is non-boss chests now also contain cards. I don't think that's the greatest thing in the world, but I probably would say it's not worth the HP we lost, which was, we went from 45 to 27 is 18 HP. Yeah, I think you usually only lose about 12. That time we got a little bit unlucky, so we're definitely dodging this elite here, and then we'll do this rather than the second fight. Okay. We'll probably be relatively good at this fight. Yeah, this guy has the most health and is swinging right now, so we're definitely going to neutralize him. I think we will want to play our defend and save the 3 health. We're definitely going to flying knee. Doesn't really matter who we hit there. Yeah, I think what we'll do is just strike here. We're going to have 4 energy next turn and can probably pick off 2 of them. And this guy will be weakened next turn. He's the one that we might not be able to kill. But he'll be weakened. I think we'll be fine. Okay. So we can play Eviscerate by discarding both of these, and we can still strike as well. So I think we just have them all dead. Yes. Yeah, so that's unload working for us. It'll do more if we can get a bit of draw in this deck somehow. So choke, deal 12, and then whenever you play a card, that enemy loses 3 HP. That's this turn only. It's tough to say whether that's better than Sucker Punch. If we acquire extra energy at some point, which is very good for offensive decks, choke gets more mileage. If we only cast 1 card after it, you can look at this as dealing 15, and if we have our neutralize in our hand, you can look at this as dealing 18 for 2. That's relatively efficient. The extra weak from Sucker Punch may beat it out. I think we will take Sucker Punch here. I think we'll take chokes later if we find more. I don't think 15 damage per 2 energy is that efficient yet. And then sometimes it's 18, which is 9. I don't think it's ever that efficient yet, so we'll take Sucker Punch here. And then dodge the fight. Okay, so this guy might be quite tough for our list here. We definitely don't want to take too much damage. The question here is Poison Stab or Flying Knee. We actually have the option of Sucker Punch. I think would set him to only deal 2 damage to us if we defend once. So we could look at something like Poison Stab, Sucker Punch, defend, or perhaps Flying Knee, Sucker Punch, defend. I think what we'll do is kind of bide our time. We'll do a Flying Knee into double defend this turn. I think the extra energy is better than getting a little bit more damage out of the Poison Strike. Yeah, and with our Thorns, this might not be totally impossible. Alright, so I think we're looking to eviscerate this turn. He's not just dead to Unload, Strike, Eviscerate, is he? Because we can do all of those. That's 12, 18, and then another 18 is 36. He's exactly dead. Unless I've flubbed the math. Please not have flubbed the math. Excellent. And actually, I think I just noticed something weird. Let me reread Eviscerate. Cost 1 less for each card you've discarded this turn. I thought it said it only cost 1 when I played it. Whereas I thought that would have cost 2. Didn't we only discard 2 cards? I might have to watch that back. I'm not sure if that works exactly as I think it does. Yeah, so here Acrobatics can be very good. Spending an energy to do this isn't always great, but this can be played for free if you're going to eviscerate that turn anyway, because the discard reduces the cost of eviscerate by 1. And sometimes it lets you play eviscerate if you draw this and unload and get more skills to dump from the acrobatics draw. I think we'll try that. We'll go all in on discard synergy. And then we're about to fight the Hexaghost. I definitely want the health. He does swing quite a bit of damage. But the good news is Thorns is very good against him. It doesn't just hard counter him like the Torii does, but it speeds up the fight a lot. And we're probably going to take a lot of damage on this fight, but it doesn't matter as long as we have at least 1 at the end. I think outmaneuver is probably strictly correct here. And then we'll just do the best strikes we can. I don't think it's worth spending extra energy to get only 1 strike. Yeah, so here, we definitely want to weaken him. I think we're fine with just committing the potion now. I think we also do want to put the artifact potion up at some point. I don't know if it's right to use it now, but I think we might anyway. I'm not certain. I think it won't trigger off this attack because it doesn't have an indicator. And if it does, it must do something to us 6 times. I think we don't want to activate it yet. And I think we might open with acrobatics here. Yeah, so we probably do want to keep the normal defend. I think we'll just get rid of the basic strike. And we might not be playing Eviscerate this turn. Even more weaken. I think we want to play this defend, and I think we'd rather play Flying Knee, Strike, Poison Stab. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think we'll Eviscerate. And here we'll take quite a bit. He does take just as much as us from this attack. So we're not getting totally destroyed. Yeah, and then here, I'm assuming we don't want this effect. He's not swinging much damage, so whatever negative effect that is, it's probably quite bad. Yeah, so we can hit him with all of our attacks and also still block everything. So that's a good turn. And then does it show what we block? Okay, it doesn't. I think that was probably like a vulnerable. I'm not 100% sure on that though. And then here I think outmaneuver's fine. I think outmaneuver and then the 2 upgraded strikes is probably better than the normal strike. Okay, and then he's using a defensive ability. Alright, so he's over half dead. We came in with only 40-something HP. It was like 47-ish or something like that. We're doing pretty well so far. Alright, so here we can use acrobatics to discard this burn, so we don't take damage for it. Hit him with the neutralize because it's free. Probably use this survivor in 2 attacks. I think taking the 2 damage is fine. Yeah, I think we're going to round this out. The first boss is kind of easy mode though, so doesn't necessarily prove that much. And then here, this unload I believe will discard the burn. Yeah, that's so nice. Alright, so that's another thing about unload that we have to keep in mind, is it can get rid of status cards as well. And he's getting close to that, but I don't think we have him this turn. And I don't think Eviscerate is ever worth it compared to spending all of the energy on all the other cards. Alright, I think we've got him here. Maybe not this turn, actually. No, not this turn, right? Because it's 9, this is 7. Well, he probably will die to the thorns. Well, he's at least not killing us, right? Yeah, okay. So he will die to the thorns. We'll go down to, like, 6 if it lets him finish the animation. I'm not sure if it will. It did not. Yeah, we only took 2 hits. Okay. Maybe even just 1. Dex Potion, not the greatest potion for this list, but we'll take it. Alright, and then, let's see. After Image, that might actually be nice. I don't think Burst makes any sense. We don't have many skills in the list, so it's Alchemize or After Image. Or nothing. The 4th option I always forget about. I don't think we take Alchemize. I think we take After Image. You play it once, and then it can block quite a bit in long fights. Our fights won't be terribly long. I think it's still worth it. Because when does this become better than Defend? It becomes better than Defend basically, you know, the 3rd turn. Like, you play it, that's the 1st turn. You probably play 2 cards, get 2 block, then get 3, then get 3. Something like that. This might not consistently be worth it. On the boss fights, it probably is. I don't think it is on the normal engages, though. If we get more free cards that cycle, it becomes better. I wonder if when you upgrade it, it becomes free. When you upgrade it, it either goes to free or goes to 2 block, I would assume. I can't imagine what else it would do. Maybe it gets innate. I bet this card's very good for us once it's upgraded, so maybe we should take it and upgrade it. There's no way to check that when you're choosing, is there? There's not. I think we'll try it and upgrade it. Hopefully that does something pretty impactful. Alright, so the Cursed Key. I usually hate this thing. We actually might take it on this list. Extra energy is very good for aggressive decks. Then there's the Runic Dome. That's actually not unthinkable. This deck doesn't have great defensive options anyway, so maybe we just take this and just go all out. I just think that might really degrade my experience of, like, you don't even know what they're doing and then they just happen to slam you really hard. I guess if you've seen the fights before, you might have a better intuition as to what they're doing. Because some of these guys are very strictly patterned. Like this fighting the cultists, they always do the exact same stuff anyway. And I think, like, the knob is sort of the same way. This might be okay. And then the Eternal Feather. For every 5 cards in your deck, heal for 2 whenever you enter a rest site. I think we'll try Runic Dome. I've never taken this. I have a lot of reservations about taking it, but this deck is, like, the least interactive and, like, responsive I've ever made for the Silent, so let's try this one out. Hopefully that works. We'll see. Now we want more card draw and more expensive attacks, and also a bunch more discard, because we already have a bit of discard synergy. So, next fight, we're looking to grab that, and I don't know what that is that we're fighting. Scroll up here. What is this thing? I bet I've seen it before and I just don't recognize it from this sigil. Or possibly this is something beta branch only, because I am playing in the beta branch of the early access game. So there's just tons of wacky stuff in here. Well, join me next time when we see what this is, and hopefully keep this deck running pretty quickly with a high amount of offense. Hopefully we get to see what that boss is and clear it. The last run we didn't, but maybe we get to the second boss and at least die to that to know what that is. So see you then.